There's this hidden problem, and it's probably draining your company's productivity right now. And the craziest part? It thrives even when your team feels like they're working harder than ever. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and expose it.
Have you ever had this feeling? You look around the office, you see everybody is busy, right? Keyboards are clicking, people are in meetings, but when Friday rolls around, it just doesn't feel like the needle has moved. It's a super common frustration, and today, we're going to get to the bottom of why it happens.
Okay, this slide just nails the problem perfectly. On the one hand, you've got what you see, the finished product. The invoices are processed, the reports are done. Looks good, right? But what's really happening under the surface is this. Well, this chaotic scramble of chasing down approvals, fixing little errors, and constantly following up because data's missing.
So what do we call this hidden culprit? Let's put a name to the face. It's called invisible work, and it is the absolute focus of our explainer today.
So let's get a solid definition here. Invisible work, think of it like all the effort that goes into maintaining the engine of your car. It's absolutely essential to keep the car running smoothly, but none of that effort directly shows up as miles on the map. It's all that necessary but totally uncredited work happening behind the scenes.
Let's make this really concrete. We're talking about things like, manually correcting a typo in a giant spreadsheet, or those endless back and forth email chains just to get one simple question answered. How about having to redo a task because the first set of instructions was wrong, or even just wasting 20 minutes trying to find that one file you need? Sound familiar?
And here is the paradox, the really frustrating part. You have to do this stuff. The whole process would just grind to a halt if you didn't. But it adds zero visible value to the final product or service. It's basically a productivity black hole, just sucking time and energy right out of your workflow.
So what's the big deal? What actually happens when all this invisible work just goes completely unchecked? Well, the costs are very, very real, and honestly, they can drain the life right out of a business.
It really creates this massive domino effect. All that wasted time on low-value tasks, productivity plummets. And of course, that slows down your entire process. For your team, it's just constant firefighting, which leads to stress and burnout. But maybe the biggest cost of all, there is no time or mental energy left for the big picture, strategic work that actually grows the business.
So if you remember one thing, it's this. Invisible work is like a silent leak in your budget. It is draining your most precious resources, your team's time and energy, without ever showing an obvious result.
All right, so where does this stuff actually hide out? Let's get practical. We're going to look at two classic examples you can probably find in any finance department.
Let's take tax prep. The visible task seems simple enough, filing the returns. But oh man, look at all the invisible work going on behind that. You've got to gather data from all over the company, verify every single number, resolve any discrepancies, and somehow keep up with constantly changing regulations. It is a mountain of unseen effort, which frankly is a big reason so many businesses just outsource these services.
Or what about accounts payable? Again, the visible task is just making a payment. Easy, right? Well, behind that one simple click is a whole world of invoice validation, chasing down managers for approvals, correcting coding errors, and reconciling all the data. This hidden workload is exactly why AP outsourcing is so common. It's all about getting rid of this drag on your team's efficiency.
All right, enough doom and gloom about the problem. Let's talk solutions. How do we fix this? Here's a clear, 4-step plan to start making that invisible work visible again, so you can finally manage it and get your team's productivity back.
Okay, step 1, you've got to map your processes. See exactly where all this hidden work is happening. Step 2, once you see it, eliminate the redundant steps. Just get rid of them. Third, you need to improve how data flows so that information is complete and easy to find from the very start. And finally, step 4. For those really repetitive, high-volume tasks, think about outsourcing to experts who've already figured out how to streamline the whole thing.
And the goal when you do all this, it's really simple. You want to transform your workflows from being chaotic and reactive to being predictable and super productive. We're talking fewer surprises, fewer errors, and a much, much faster turnaround time. So, the ultimate takeaway is really this. By shining a bright light on all this unseen effort, you're not just tweaking a little process. You are actively tearing down the invisible barriers that are holding your entire business back.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. What if the biggest obstacles to your company's growth aren't the challenges you see every day, but the ones you don't even know are there?